Welcome back to Woman Meets Motherhood. We're still here with Sarah, and we're going to talk more on FGM, which is female genital mutilation. So we just wanted you to let us know, what is it and what is it behind your culture that demands that you do it, and what was your experience?
I didn't sort of, because everyone was, they used to do the girls, it's actually done by the girls, done to the girls, where they close up the vaginal lips, yeah. There's different types of doing it. When I had it done, I was quite very young. My dad was away and my mother, they were divorced, so I was raised by my grandmother. So a group of girls was being done, and then being naive, not knowing what's to come out of it, I would say, I want to have it done too. Please, grandma.
How old were you?
6, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even that they said you should do it.
No, they would do it in time when when I'm a bit older. But because I had girls who were older than me were doing it, saying, I want to be a girl, I want to do it. You know how, if you say to a child, I want to have that toy, sort of way. And then tomorrow he says, oh God, can I have that toy please too? It was just way of thinking, maybe I'll be a woman too. I want to be the same.
What age do you typically do it? So how old were they?
7, 8 upwards, when your body is fully a little bit grown, and even up to 10, they would do it. But I went through and I didn't have no anesthetic to numb it or to do anything. I screamed and ladies were holding me. Imagine big ladies holding you on the side, and and one leg for this one and leg one, and this one is doing all this, and then close it, and I screamed and I screamed and I screamed. What they do is close up and then leave a little gap where you can urinate.
Wow.
Yeah. They use it in the sense you don't have any emotional for other man or something, opposite sex in a way, and you don't get pregnant. Yeah. But of course not. That's not the truth. If they only knew now, they wouldn't have done it. But there are ladies who become pregnant with it, as they did that.
So how long did it take for you to heal? Do you remember?
Vividly, I remember, because I was very, very young. I would even have nightmares of it. I would wake up every single time. I think forgot when I gave my first child, at the age of 22. So imagine that. All those years, I would just constantly wake up and screaming, thinking, this is what they're doing it again to me. Yeah. And
did your grandmother explain to you what was going to happen?
No.
Or afterwards, did you talk about it, or was it just?
No, because it's in nature, a way of, it's normal. Yeah. Everyone does it. Even bless her soul, she passed away now, but she said to me when I had my daughter, and you need to do it. And I said, what? She said, you need to do it. It's a shame. Daughter. Yeah, it's a shame, because she thought in that sense. But at that time she was quite very old, and I would say, Granny, I will soon, even though I did not understand what she's talking about, but she would say.
So did you feel like you had to protect her from it?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And my husband was against it also, so he would never ever wanted it to be done, because what I suffered from afterwards. I remember coming to an antenatal clinic, and with my first child pregnant, and they're examining me, saying, 37 weeks, the child is a bit high, it hasn't turned yet, and the doctor's trying to come and explain, and then all of a sudden, could I examine you just to see? And then he's like, whoa.
So Sarah, I just want to understand. So when you said they sew and there's a little bit left. So when you have intercourse with your husband, he goes through that small hole. So is it not very more painful than the first time you had it?
Yeah.
But does it open up a bit?
Yeah, does it open?
Of course. As you know, the body tend to learn whatever pressure that you put into it. It works with it, you know. And some people find it very difficult, even so difficult that their movement of walking goes in a certain position, or maybe they even have having a woman normal cycle. They would find it very difficult because sometimes blood clots are there, and there would be infections, and there would be, you know, stuff. So many people died of it, you know. But then yet they still, nowadays what they tend to do is just make the girl bleed rather than close it all up. So as sort of a cut on the top lip of it, and then that's it. But even that, there is nothing even in our religion. There's nothing that says it's necessary for the girls to go through this.
So at the point of your first baby, and they're doing the exam and they see that, what did they say to you? How did that impact? How was that going to impact your birth of your baby?
Well, I remember the first doctor I had, he jumped up, went back, and then went to another doctor and said, "I'm finding something really strange here. Could you come and see this lady I have on the table?" And then he showed, and then the other doctor said, "Wow, how does this baby kind of come out? I have no idea." And the other one is asking the other question. And then by the end of the day, I had 6-7 doctors on top of me.
Wow.
Until I had a Sudanese doctor
Who
understood what was going to be happening, what's going to be done. They could have there and then cut me off, or they said once the labor starts, you can just do it, and then because it's already pain, and then we can re-sew it back together each other, you know, as normal as before, and then we walk from there. So they did that way, and that's
what happened.
That's what happened.
Came to
give.
And when they sewed it up, they sew it up so that it's more open than normal than how it was before.
Yeah. Back to try to say in a normal way. Yeah. But for us, it was normal. All girls went through the same thing. My grandparents, the ones before, my parents, everyone went through. But not knowing, it's something that they picked up from the Pharaohs, you know, the Egyptian. That's where it come from. Right. It's not particularly in Somalia. Now they still do it in Sudan. Even some parts of Nigeria, I think they do it as well. Yeah.
And so in this country, do you think it's still something that happens in this country, or is it mainly if you have a good, like a strong connection to back home?
Or do they take girls?
There's some people who take them there back home and try to do, and even some of them who would say, why I went through, why can she not go through? You know?
So now it's like an anger, or like
in a way, my mom did it to me, I can do it to this. In a way, but
it's never crossed your mind to want to do it to any of your girls?
No.
And have you had to talk to them about, like, has it come up in conversation, or have you, or they've learned about it and said,
they learned a lot of it through within the community as well, and you know, maybe some girls who went through and would say, this, have you had it done? And say, no, what's that? And then they will come back to me and ask me about it and say, this is how it is and what it is.
So did it, after obviously you had your first baby, has it had any impact on your subsequent pregnancies, or no?
No, everything just went back to normal. I mean, like I said before, the body adjusts to the whatever way you do it again, then it went on from there.
So why are you and your husband do not support it?
Well, like I said, the health-wise. The scene of it, I wouldn't call it the trouble that I went through. I don't want anyone else suffering. So you have to, in a way, bad things, you have to learn from it and then step out of it and then go on to live a better life, or you know, whatever walks of life. We learned from racism and stuff like that. We're stepping out each day. We're learning something. Something new is coming out. So it is in that sense. Yeah.
Wow.
Raising girls and boys in this country, with your heritage. How do you balance the two though? For them to still have your heritage, but them to be raised in the UK. How do you?
Excuse me. For me, because I was, my dad, who was also worked different parts of the life for the United Nations. Okay. So we tend to travel. I've learned so much of different cultures, different stuff. So I was never pressured to have just my typical culture. Sometimes I would find it very difficult even to understand one Somali to another. And even my language, speaking of it, it was really little because I would always, I studied in international schools, so everyone will be speaking one language, which would be English. And then, and as I learned and as I grown and seen the sense of other people, other cultures and stuff like that. So what I tend to do is with my children, speak to them in English, even though sometimes it's bad, so they have to learn your mother tongue. But my husband would speak to them in my mother tongue. So what they tend to do is make fun of words and things like that. And the big ones, even the little ones, will not understand sometimes. So the grandmother is there, she's talking to them, they're staring at her. Yeah. So I would say no, because it would be better for them to know where they are, where they stand, when they go to school. I know sometimes they still put them in category of East African, you know, second language as their English, which is not necessarily, it's not, you know. But there you are. You still are. That stigma is still there, you know. Yeah. So I raised them to respect other people, respect their religion, their walk of life, their color, and that's it. Once you have that, there's nothing else going to go wrong with it.
Phenomenal mother of
honestly,
7.
Superwoman, honestly. Honestly, thank you so much, Sarah, for sharing your story with us and with our viewers. It's important. Obviously, we've covered a lot of different things. We've covered your raising 7 kids, you know, your deliveries, and also the topic of FGM, which is very prevalent in certain communities, but not spoken about openly. But so thank you for being so honest and open about it. And I hope our viewers have been informed, you know, about it. If any of you are facing any of these topics, please do get in touch, and we'll try our best to put links to different organizations who may be able to help you. So we hope this episode has empowered you, as in equipped you, and has encouraged you. And we thank Sarah for coming to join us today. And so as always, please do subscribe and like our videos, and we'll be back again soon. Thank you.